The Zephyrian Council had tested over 3,000 species across 17 galactic sectors. Each one had failed the fear resistance protocol within the first phase. The elegant Altarians, masters of quantum mathematics, had collapsed into catatonic states when exposed to their deepest phobias. The warrior Krugen, who could tear through starship hulls with their bare claws, had whimpered like newborn cubs when faced with their ancestral nightmares. Commander Veltar adjusted the neural inhibitors one final time, his 6 eyes focusing on the strange bipedal creature secured to the testing chair. The human. Designation: Marcus Chen, age 32, occupation emergency medical technician, sat with an oddly relaxed posture despite the circumstances. Subject 3001 prepared for fear resistance protocol, announced Dr. Crixana, her tentacles dancing over the holographic controls. Initiating psychological profile scan. The massive chamber hummed with energy as ancient Zephyrian technology probed the human's mind, mapping neural pathways and identifying core fears. The readings were unusual. Interesting. Dr. Crixana's voice carried a note of scientific curiosity. This species shows remarkably diverse fear responses. Heights, enclosed spaces, loss of loved ones, failure, death. Standard mammalian anxieties, but the neural architecture is surprisingly complex. Marcus shifted slightly in his restraints, looking around the sterile chamber with genuine interest rather than terror. So, when does this test actually start? Because I've got to say, this is way less scary than a Saturday night shift in the ER. Commander Veltar's mandibles clicked in confusion. The human was conversing during preparation for the most psychologically devastating trial in known galactic history. Phase 1. Initiate primal terror sequence, Dr. Crixana commanded. The chamber plunged into absolute darkness. Then came the sounds, skittering of massive arachnids, the roar of prehistoric predators, the whispered threats of unseen stalkers. Holographic projections materialized, towering spiders with dripping fangs, saber-toothed beasts lunging from shadows, and writhing tentacles emerging from impossible geometries. Marcus blinked, tilted his head, and then did something that had never occurred in 3,000 previous trials. He chuckled. "Oh, come on," he said, grinning at a particularly elaborate holographic dinosaur. "That T-Rex's arms are way too big. Everyone knows they were tiny and useless. You guys clearly haven't done your research." The Zephyrian technicians exchanged bewildered glances. Their instruments showed elevated heart rate and adrenaline, but instead of the expected psychological breakdown, the human's brain was enjoying itself. Phase 2. Personal nightmare manifestation, Dr. Crixana declared, her voice tight with scientific frustration. The chamber shifted, walls melting away to reveal Marcus standing in a hospital corridor. Alarms blared, and he watched helplessly as holographic patients, people he'd failed to save, surrounded him with accusing eyes. His worst professional failures played out in excruciating detail. Marcus's expression grew somber, his breathing deeper. The Zephyrians leaned forward, anticipating the breakthrough. Then Marcus straightened, looked directly at one of the holographic victims and said, "You know what, Mrs. Patterson? I'm sorry I couldn't save you, but I saved 17 other people that night, and I learned from what happened. I became better because of you." He turned to address the entire nightmare scenario. "I can't save everyone. That's not a flaw, that's just reality. But I keep trying anyway because that's what humans do." The holograms flickered and faded, unable to maintain coherence against such direct acceptance. "Impossible," Commander Veltar whispered. "No species confronts their failures with such equanimity." Phase 3. Existential Terror Protocol, Dr. Crixana announced desperately. The chamber became space itself, infinite, cold, and empty. Marcus floated alone in the void, confronted with the ultimate meaninglessness of existence, the inevitable heat death of the universe, the cosmic insignificance of all life. Marcus looked around at the beautiful starfield, took a deep breath of recycled air, and burst out laughing. "This is supposed to be scary?" he called out to his captors. "Do you have any idea how amazing this is? I'm a collection of atoms that became conscious enough to contemplate the universe. I'm literally star stuff that learned to think about itself. That's not terrifying, that's the most incredible thing ever." The existential horror simulation collapsed entirely. Dr. Crixana's tentacles flailed in agitation. "This is unprecedented. How is it possible that—" "You want to know the secret?" Marcus interrupted, still smiling. Humans have been scaring ourselves for fun for thousands of years. Horror movies, haunted houses, roller coasters, extreme sports, we literally pay money to be frightened. You're trying to weaponize something we consider entertainment. Commander Veltar stepped closer to the testing chair. But surely there is something that truly terrifies your species. Marcus grew thoughtful. Oh, absolutely. We're terrified of not trying, of giving up, of letting fear stop us from helping others or exploring new places or learning new things. We're afraid of wasting the brief miraculous time we have in this universe. And yet, he continued, we do those things anyway. Do you know why? Because being brave isn't about not feeling fear. It's about feeling the fear and doing what needs to be done despite it. The testing chamber fell silent except for the humming of machinery. 3,000 species had been broken by the fear resistance protocol. The human had turned it into a philosophy lesson. Dr. Crixana slowly deactivated the equipment. Test concluded. Subject 3001 exhibits complete immunity to psychological warfare through what appears to be weaponized optimism and existential acceptance. Marcus stretched as his restraints were released. So did I pass? Because honestly, that was kind of fun. Do you guys have any other tests? Maybe something with puzzles? As the human was escorted out, still chatting cheerfully with his captors about the impressive holographic technology, Commander Veltar made a note in his report that would reshape galactic policy. Recommendation: under no circumstances should humanity be considered for subjugation. They are either completely insane or have evolved beyond the concept of psychological defeat. Possibly both. Suggest immediate diplomatic contact instead. In the end, the Zephyrians learned that while they had mastered the science of fear, humans had mastered something far more powerful: the art of laughing in its face.